a list of core values activity. The thought behind this activity maybe is help in when you're dealing with stress and not handling stress in a healthy way. Is when we look at our values and we identify what we're grounded in, what our core values are in, and we bring those in our life, which I like to call our arena. You know, when we're ready to be seen and be brave and we show up in life, we need to really understand what our values are. So I want you to pick out 2, no more than 3. I like to give a bonus because it's hard, off this list of values. And it's front and back. I'm sorry, I'm conserving paper.
Okay.
And then we're going to go over the second sheet together. So circle 2 to 3 values.
Just 2 to 3 on here?
Yep, just 2 to 3. We're gonna.
What if I have more?
Then we can build on those next session. But it's good to just let's narrow in on 2 to 3 so we don't get so big.
Okay.
And some of them can be overarching, like they're bigger values, like honesty can include trust.
Okay.
And truth.
Okay. I got 3. Is that okay? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I like to give a bonus because it's hard to
narrow them down.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep your values sheet and I'm gonna give you this back. Okay.
Okay.
So it looks like you chose family, success, and optimism.
Yes.
So what this worksheet symbolizes is our value set in the form of a lantern.
Okay.
And I really like this analogy because it helps you kind of see when you're in the light, you're in your value set, and when your light dims, there's some warning signs that maybe you're not taking care of yourself, maybe you're stressed. So we're gonna go through this together.
Okay.
So on the first one, it's talking about the flame. So in the lantern, the flame is our values.
Okay.
The flame is what lights the way for us in the lantern. So I want you to write your optimism, success, and family.
On these lines?
On number 1.
Okay.
Yep, on the flame.
Optimism, family, success.
And I want you to draw a flame in the lantern. And you can make it pretty, you can make it whatever you want. Okay? That's your value set. That's your light. Okay, so that's your family, your optimism,
Oh, okay.
and
Here.
your success.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's how it correlates to the lantern. Okay? And then I want you, in the next one, it's protecting the flame. So every lantern you've ever seen, it's not just an open flame. There's a protection around it, a protective glass.
Okay.
And that is the people around you and the behaviors that you exhibit that protect that light, that make that light shine brighter. So do you have people in your life that you feel like contribute to your value set in a positive way?
I have a couple friends and family.
Okay. So friends and family. So go ahead and write that down if you'd like. And this is just a good thing for you to reference back to after the session.
Okay.
So friends and family. Okay. And they really help protect you, help keep you healthy.
Yeah, they're there to talk
you.
to.
Okay.
I can talk to them, and they make me feel better when I do.
Okay.
You know.
What about behaviors? What behaviors that you exhibit that keep you within your value set?
I don't really take care of myself very well.
So when you are practicing self-care, does that make your values shine brighter?
If I did, it probably would, but I don't really do that.
So flip the page around. If we're going to that section, we'll talk about the handle, which is the warning signs. So when the lantern gets when it gets dark or gets too heavy, there's too much on us, or the lantern gets hot, sometimes we drop our values, and that's when we're unhealthy. So that's when you're in your stressful state, right?
Like right now.
Yeah. You could make decisions that are unhealthy for you. Absolutely. When you're stressed, like right now.
Okay.
And so the 3 lines just kind of give you like trigger lines to just prod like that behavior. And you already said 1. I know I'm in trouble when I'm not taking care of myself.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you write that one. The first one was focusing on the positive behaviors, which if in session today is hard to come up with, I'm going to make that your homework.
Which part?
The first, the second, number 2.
Oh,
when
protecting.
When you went to the the kind of the behaviors that are warning signs. This one is focusing on the behaviors that are supportive of your values. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Maybe I don't have a lot of those.
You know, sometimes we start from the bottom and have to build those, and that's okay. It means maybe they weren't modeled for us. Maybe we've lost them because we might be in so much stress that it's hard to go back to that positive space where we're in our value set. Any other red flag behaviors that you know, like you kind of drop the lantern and
I freak out on my kids or my husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Freakouts, absolutely. So you know you're in trouble when you freak out.
Should I write that?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. Freak out. Lose it.
You lose it. Okay. Anything else?
When I like melt down, like when I'm crying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a meltdown? Yeah, absolutely. That's it. That can be what. So these behaviors are actually like they're putting a distance between you and your value set, right? So you're not acting within your value set when you're melting down. Like there's nothing on here that you said disrespectful to your family, right? Within your values, right?
Right.
So the idea of these are the behaviors that you're doing that take you further from your value set. So we're just identifying those, just so you can become aware. Because the most resilient people people are resilient because they are self-aware, right? They're self-aware of those things that take them away from their value set. So we're gonna just do the number 4, and we'll leave the other 2 questions for next time. But radiating light, and this is again not along the lines of when are you within your value set? Like, can you think of a time where you have had positive outcome from being within your value set? So from being with your family, being successful and being optimistic. Like, you can pick one or you can pick all 3.
Back when I was working when I was doing nursing, I was pretty happy.
Okay, so job brings meaning to you. So optimism was created by working. Okay, and then it was probably creating that success.
Yes.
Too. Okay, you can write that down if you'd like.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about this activity that we've done?
No, I think it makes sense. I mean, it looks like I want to do less of these things that are less of the freaking out, less of the crying. I mean, I know that. But I like the lantern idea of like that's when I've dropped the lantern. And then I guess I just need to work on how I have more protecting behaviors.
So let's talk about goal setting then.
Okay.
Did you get that written down? I'm sorry, I didn't give you much time.
Oh, felt successful when I was working. That was what I was writing. Okay.
My apologies, I interrupted. So let's talk about then the protecting the values. That sounds like it's a goal area, tying back to your values, and also tying back to the stressors that you have going on. So when we talk about a goal for protecting your values, for really living in your value set, does anything come up automatically for you?
Go back to work.
Okay. I mean, is that a realistic?
Have another baby.
Okay, that's exciting. Is that something that you want to do soon?
I would love to have another baby.
Do you think that that sounds like a really delightful option? Do you think that having a baby is going to protect your values?
Well, I do really enjoy having a large family, and I adore my kids, even if they stress me out.
Okay, so it sounds like family is really important to you, and growing the family is really important to you.
Yes.
Okay. Is that a goal you want to work on in therapy? Is to start having more kids?
Yes.
Okay. We'll go for that. So we're gonna talk about fertility. Shit. Sorry. Sometimes I have really horrible facial expressions. I can't even imagine when I'm being taped.
That's gonna be fun to watch back.
Like, okay, I was totally not ready for that one. So why don't we let's refocus back to your goal of wanting to have a bigger family. Or is there anything that you need to do before?
Well, I probably shouldn't be this stressed out if I'm gonna have more kids.
Yeah, it would be hard stress on your body to to try to have a child but be so stressed.
Yeah.
So maybe we should focus on the stress and clearing up some of that stress, then will help you get this bigger goal of having another baby.
Okay, I like it. That makes sense.
So what would be one area that you want to work on that is a SMART goal?
Mm-hmm.
So specific, measurable.
A SMART goal.
SMART
okay,
goal.
so
We talked about this last session.
You're right.
What is a specific, measurable goal, attainable, relevant, and time bound?
Oh yeah, I remember we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Around stress.
Yeah. Around dealing with your stress. You said that's kind of the centerpiece, and then everything else adds to it.
Can I make my husband do more work around the house?
So what I hear you saying is asking for what you need.
Is that what I said?
I think so. So you're saying that you want to make your husband do more work.
Yes.
Maybe if we do a little bit of role reversal there, if your husband were to make you do more work, how would that feel?
That wouldn't go over very well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? That'd be really hard to hear that you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
So how do you think he would hear it if you were saying that to him?
Oh, he wouldn't take it very well.
Sure. So let's talk about then making that into a supportive goal.
Okay.
So asking, what do you need? What do you need support with?
I ask him that?
I'm asking you that.
Oh, okay. I need more help around the house.
Okay. What specifically do you need help with?
I need my husband to help make dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you like if you tried to ask him to make dinner 3 times next week? Was that too much?
I don't think he'd do it.
Okay. What do you think? Where could you meet him where he's at? 1 time?
Oh, he might agree at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that be something you'd be open to doing?
It would be better than none.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you try to ask your husband to make dinner 1 night next week?
Okay.
And giving him a heads up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not saying an hour before dinner.
Oh, okay. I have to warn him ahead of time.
I mean, wouldn't that be fair?
I think so.
Sure.
Yeah.
So give your husband a heads up that on Friday night or whatever night you choose, you want to make him dinner? Or
No, I don't want to make him
you want
dinner.
him to make you
I want
dinner?
him to make me dinner.
Okay. I think that sounds smart.
Okay.
So 1 time is what you want.
Well, no, I want him to make it every night, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'll
Okay.
start with 1.
Okay?
Yeah.
I think that sounds like a great goal.
Okay.
Boom. Yeah, done. All right. Ending. All right, Jenny, take over.
Okay.
Oh, my brain does something. All right, so it sounds like we went over a goal for today that may help with some of your stress. Do you feel comfortable with what we've discussed?
Yeah, I like that we have a plan in mind as far as if I can get my husband to do 1 meal, I'll feel like I'm getting somewhere, that I'm making progress towards helping me get less stressed at
Right.
home. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the goal, is to really, it's really just one little piece at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we focus on a global thing, a global picture, it tends to be hard to make little changes because we just want it all to go away at once, right? So maybe just a small change, and then communicating. We'll work on communicating, asking for what you need.
What if he says no?
Then we need to reassess.
Okay.
And I think it's important for you to say this is something I really need. This
Okay.
is something, letting him know that it's not just a request, it's something that would give you a half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do with that half an hour, or that hour?
Hopefully I wouldn't be all stressed out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a possibility you could say no. That's absolutely a possibility. We're adults, right? We're allowed to express what we need and say no. If it's
Mhm.
not what we want. However, it sounds like there is an imbalance in the relationship, from what you're saying.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. So we need to figure out how to rebalance that. I think it's just one thing at a time.
Okay.
Okay. So try to maybe talk with him ahead of time, and say, I really want you to make dinner on a night this week. What night would work best with you?
Okay.
So maybe compromise,
Mm-hmm.
because then you're getting your night, and he's able to choose.
Can I make him make something really hard
If you want.
that I really like?
I mean, if that's what you want, but however, I would, when you're asking people to change, we need to be flexible with our expectations.
Okay.
It's important. Because he may not know how to make creme brulee. Darn it. So I think we meet again in a week and assess how this goal went. I know that you have a lot of stress going on. And I hope that asking him to make dinner one night this week will give you time to yourself so that you can hopefully focus on you.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks.
I don't know how that went.
No, I think you did really well.
I don't even know. On the video, I mean, I hate